Let us continue in Madame Guyon's Method of Prayer, chapter 13 today. The soul advances thus far, has no need of any other preparation than its quietude. For now the presence of God during the day, which is the great effect, or rather continuation of prayer, begins to be infused and almost without interruption. Very true. I'm experiencing this in my life, my friends. To tell you, to encourage you that it is possible to have this constant presence with the Lord without interruption, no matter what happens. But it has to be developed. It has to be cultivated in you. You must want it above and beyond anything else. The soul certainly enjoys transcendent blessedness and finds that God is more intimately present to it than it is to itself. The only way to find Him is by introversion, going inside to the center. No sooner do the bodily eyes close than the soul is wrapped in prayer. It is amazed at so great a blessing and enjoys an internal converse which external matters cannot interrupt. I found myself sometimes in the midst of a crowd where there's a lot of noise and turmoil and disturbance. But I close my eyes and I'm right there with Him again. And all of a sudden, all the noise, the chatter, the disturbances disappear. Try it. The same may be said of this species of prayer that is said of wisdom. All good things come together for those who love God. We know Romans 8:28. For virtues flow from this soul into exercise with so much sweetness and facility that they appear natural to it, and the living spring within breaks forth abundantly into a facility for all goodness and an insensibility to all evil. Let it then remain faithful in this state, and beware of choosing or seeking any other disposition, whatever that this simple rest, as a preparative either to confession or communion, to action or prayer. For its sole business, its only business, is to suffer itself to be filled with this divine effusion. I would not be understood to speak of the preparations necessary for ordinances, but of the most interior disposition in which they can be received. Moving on to chapter 14. The Lord is in His holy temple. Let all the earth keep silence before Him. Habakkuk 2, verse 20. The reason why inward silence is so indispensable is because the Word is essential and eternal, and necessarily requires dispositions in the soul in some degree correspond to his nature as a capacity for the reception of himself. Hearing is a sense formed to receive sounds and is rather passive than active, admitting but not communicating sensation, and if we would hear, we must lend the ear for that purpose. Christ, the eternal Word, who must be communicated to the soul to give it new life, requires the most intense attention to his voice when he would speak within us. Hence, it is so frequently enjoined upon us in sacred writ to listen and be attentive to the voice of God. I quote a few of the numerous exhortations to this effect. Hearken unto me, my people, and give ear unto me, O my nations, in Isaiah. And again, hear me, all you whom I carry in my bosom, and bear within my bowels, again in Isaiah. And further by the psalmist, Psalm 14, 10 and 11. Hearken, O daughter, and consider, and incline thy ear. Forget also thine own people and thy father's house. So shall the king greatly desire thy beauty. How many times this shows us how many times the Lord calls upon us. He says, give me your ear. I have things to tell you. I need to speak to you. Pay attention. Quiet everything else around you. Go within, close your eyes, and listen. Listen. We don't listen enough, my friends. We don't seek to hear his voice enough. We speak more than we listen. We ask more than we give. More than just being available. Lord, your servant is here. Speak to me like Samuel did. You understand? We must forget ourselves and all self-interest and listen and be attentive to God. These two simple actions, or rather passive dispositions, produce the love of that beauty, which he himself communicates. Outward silence is very requisite for the cultivation and improvement of inward. And indeed, it is impossible we should become truly interior without loving silence and retirement. I love silence. It is the most beautiful sound. And I don't like noise or unnecessary blah, 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 blah. People who talk without saying anything, who are too quick to answer, to speak, because they're uncomfortable with your silence. God said by the mouth of his prophet, Hosea 2 verse 14, I will lead her into solitude, and there will I speak to her heart. And unquestionably, the being internally engaged with God is wholly incompatible with being externally busied about 1,000 trifles. when we engage ourselves in this sacred place, this center of solitude with God, we couldn't care less about what happens outwardly. We want to remain in that place with Him. So if you wonder why people slowly disappear from your life, you find yourself more and more alone, it's because He led you into solitude. Take it as a blessing. Say, "Oh Father, you want me all to yourself because you have things to reveal to me at this time. And I wasn't listening before. I'm sorry for not paying enough attention to you. Forgive me, Lord. From now on, I will stop everything, and I will always keep my inner ears open, the ears of my heart open to you, 24/7. 24/7, my friends. If you commit in this way, I promise you, He will reveal Himself to you. And it will be in moments that you don't expect at all. You'll be doing something, and all of a sudden you will receive the answer about something you prayed for, or an inspiration to do something. It will just come like a breeze, like the scent of a perfume. You didn't go looking for it. You didn't chase after it. But because you placed yourself in an open receptivity, it came. I just he just gave me this image now of the flower and the bee. How God made it in the way that the flower is always opened to receive the bee, so that the bee can extract the pollen, the nectar, and go and make honey. But if the flower would be closed, how would we have honey today? It would be impossible. So all the flowers in the world, they say, "I'm here, come," and the bees find them, and they nourish themselves and then produce the most divine nectar in the world, honey, which never deteriorates. Isn't that amazing? More precious than gold. It's just an illustration to imagine your heart being like that, your heart being a flower that is continuously open to receive the Lord, what He has to come and pour into you. When through weakness we become, as it were, uncentered, we must immediately turn again inward. And this process we must repeat as often as our distractions recur. It is a small matter to be devout and recollected for an hour or half hour, if the unction, the anointing, in other words, and spirit of prayer do not continue with us during the whole day. I went through something like this last night, where something happened and I got disturbed. I was uncentered. Whoop, I lost my centeredness. But I noticed it immediately. And I said, no, no, no. Oh Lord, no, I have to come back. I'm not going to allow this situation to steal my peace, my joy, my place with you. No. I reject this situation. I don't want it. I will not allow it to do this. Please, Lord, help me. Take care of it. I don't want to lose my place with you. This peace that I have with you. And I returned. You see? Of course, we will have temptations. We will be provoked by the enemy through people to try to unbalance us, to pull us out of this blissful place that we have found. It's up to us to return, to shut that door and say, no, no, no. I'm not letting anything in me but God. No one else can come into my heart. No one else can, no one can disturb me. I will not allow it. And then you come to the realization that you cannot please everybody, that there will always be someone who will disagree with you, contradict you, provoke you, try to have an argument with you. It's up to you what you're going to do. If you want to remain in this blissful, sacred place, this centeredness, you will not engage with them. You will not allow their words to affect you. Someone said to me one time, words hurt. Words are very powerful. They hurt. I said, only if you let them. Only if you open the door and let them hurt you, they will hurt you. But if you close the door to your heart, you protect it, you don't allow these words to touch you, they won't. But for that, you have to be in the Spirit. It's the Holy Spirit who will protect you. Will you let your front door to your home wide open for anyone to come in and rob you? Or worse, hurt you? Of course not. You're going to lock your door. Make sure that it's locked. Well, you can lock your heart to the outside world so that it will not penetrate and it will not harm you. You have the choice. You have the power. You have the authority of who comes in and who stays out. And don't try to be more spiritual than Jesus by saying, oh, but we have to love everybody. We have to help everybody. No, Jesus didn't do that. And he didn't run after anybody either who didn't want to commit to his discipleship. Perfect example is the rich young ruler. He let him go. He didn't compromise. He didn't try to reason with him. No, he told him, this is what it will cost you if you want to follow me. You have to give up all your wealth. No. His possessions, his wealth was more important. Fine. So be it. Go. He never compromise with anybody. And we must also have this authority, especially with unbelievers, family members who don't understand, can't understand where we're at right now since we're born again. We're in a completely different spirit. They think we've gone crazy. So be it. Let them go. Let them go. We must choose to follow God, not our family, not relationships. We will not be facing them. We'll be facing Jesus when he comes back. It is only towards him that we have to give an account. So don't waste your time, your breath, your energy, your health like I did in the past. Made myself sick over people in my life because I loved them and I wanted so much for them to accept the Lord. But I pushed and I pushed and I tried and I didn't understand, and the Lord finally stopped me. And when I heard a message by Jacob Prasch, a very, very insightful message about witnessing to our family who's not saved. He said that when you witness to someone, all you do is remove the stone that is in front of their grave, because they're inside the grave. They're dead like Lazarus. But you can't call them out. You can't raise them from their death. They have to hear Jesus calling them out. And that's what Jesus did with Lazarus. He called him. Lazarus, come out. Lazarus heard, and he rose from the dead and he came out. Nobody else could have done that. It's the same with them. If their ears are not opened to hearing Jesus himself calling them, don't waste your time. That delivered me completely from trying to convince them. It freed me. It brought light inside of me and peace. And I realized it was the enemy who was trying to make me feel guilty and accuse me that I wasn't witnessing enough to them, that I wasn't trying hard enough, that I should do more and I should do. No. All lies from the devil. Did Jesus do that? Kept knocking at the same door until people opened and accepted the gospel? No. He said, if they don't welcome you, if they don't want to hear you, turn around, shake the sand off your sandals and move on to other people, other places who will receive you. Do we continue to pray for them? Sure. I will continue to pray for them till my last breath. But I will not try to convince them anymore. I will let them be in their own beliefs, in thinking that this world will provide for them, will satisfy them. Let them. Like in the days of Noah, they will continue to marry and have children and have parties and, you know. and travel and seek their own. Fine. Let them be. Let's come back to Madame Guyon. Outward silence is very requisite for the cultivation and improvement of inward, and indeed it is impossible we should become truly interior without loving silence and retirement. Let him lead you to this solitude, my friend, and there he will speak to your heart. God bless.